What you are about to see is the life story of Jean Stovall Anderson. Now, you may find parts of this story inspiring. You may find parts of it sad. You may even find some of it humorous. But one thing I can tell you for sure, it is all true. I know because she was my mother. Our story starts in the city of her birth.
This is my kind of town. Chicago is my kind of town. Chicago is.
But our story starts about 23 miles north of Chicago, also on the shores of Lake Michigan. There you will find the sleepy little village of Glencoe, Illinois. This house on Adams Avenue in Glencoe was the childhood home of Jean Loretta Stovall and her mother, Ruth Bryant. In 1924, George Gershwin published his American classical masterpiece, Rhapsody in Blue. That same year, on June 11th, at Chicago's Cook County General Hospital, little Jean Loretta Stovall was born. From kindergarten to the 8th grade, she attended the Central School in Glencoe, which was just blocks from her house. But for high school, she had to take the bus down to nearby Winnetka to attend New Trier High School. And at New Trier, Jeannie was very popular. I mean, she was already an outdoor type of a person, and she joined several social clubs in school, but mainly she was prominent on the girls' speedball teams. Oh yeah, one final note about Miss Jean's high school experience. One of her best male friends was this guy, Charlton Heston. Yeah, you know, the guy that plays Moses in the Ten Commandments.
Behold his mighty hand.
Jean graduated from New Trier in June of 1942, and according to her yearbook, it was her intention to attend Howard University. But the United States had been drawn into World War II, and U.S. naval forces had just won its first naval victory over the Japanese at the Battle of Midway. The United States Naval Station, Great Lakes, was a boot camp for Navy sailors. It was about 10 miles from Jean's home in Glencoe. And like thousands of Americans, Jean joined the war effort, first working at the sailors' mess hall as they prepared to leave for overseas. On September 2nd, 1945, Japan surrendered. After 4 long years, World War II ended. All over America, there were celebrations, including Ruth and Jean here in Chicago. But Jean wanted to get on with her life and decided to try a career in modeling. Jean was stunning. The camera loved her poise, her beauty, her class. Everything about her garnered success, whether it was on the runway, magazine ads, high fashion, or department store catalogs. her travels, she formed friendships with the likes of Cab Calloway, Sidney Poitier, and world heavyweight champion Joe Louis. In 1947, she met a young Episcopal priest, Leonard Anderson, who had studied at the University in Evanston, which is another suburb of Chicago, and they dated, and in 1948 were married. They had their first child in October of 1949 and lived in the quiet Glencoe village until about 1951. It was then that Andy found a wonderful job at his old alma mater, Morgan State College. They bought a home together with a great front yard, and it all just seemed like a wonderful dream. But the dream ended. It ended with the couple's divorce in 1957. Jean, now the mother of 3 children, went from being housewife to head of household. She'd have to buy all the food, cook the food, pay the mortgage, buy the clothes, wash the clothes, clean the house, and get the kids off to school. And of course, get a job. And for a single black mother with no real work experience and only a high school diploma, getting a job, at least a good one, seemed like an insurmountable task. But Jean was a fighter. She found a job. It wasn't the greatest. It was as a barmaid / waitress at the legendary Sphinx Club in West Baltimore. But she networked and later found a better job at the Maryland National Bank downtown, where she became the first black teller. However, she had to stand all day, so she networked again. And this time, she was hired by the Baltimore State's Attorney, a guy named Charles Moylan, and she was the first black female to ever work in the Baltimore City State's Attorney's office.
When I came in, that was my first job with the state's attorney, but I was very inexperienced. I had no legal experience whatsoever. When I knew her, she was working up in the library on the 2nd floor. And when I went up there, I was a newcomer. I didn't know what I was doing. She was just delightful. She would help me. I would say, I don't know where do I get the books called American Digest? And she would go to the library and pull them out. Yeah.
So she knew how to get around a law library
where I didn't.
Better than you, and you were a lawyer.
Yes.
And that started a friendship that lasted for decades. Joe Lyons was always there. He came to Jean's house for holiday gatherings. When she was sick, he visited her in the hospital.
When she had the heart problem and they took her legs?
I don't remember that.
Well, you did.
What did I do?
Well, what you did was you ate her dinner.
I came to the hospital
and ate her dinner, yeah. You were visiting and she didn't think much of the hospital food, but you took it all.
Ralph Murdy was also an assistant state's attorney back in the day. He worked with Jean, and he also became friends with her for decades. But he was a bit of a prankster.
And she had a goldfish bowl on her desk with a couple goldfish in it.
Wow.
So I started buying goldfish and putting extra goldfish in her tank. It took a couple days, but she thought, where the hell did all these fish come from? And then we started taking them out one at a time, driving her crazy.
Later in her career at the courthouse, Jean became the main receptionist at the state's attorney's office, which put her in contact with police officers, law clerks, various witnesses, and of course, newspaper reporters.
I loved her. She's a great lady, but she was the gatekeeper for Milton Manor. when he was state's attorney. You know, we all needed to get to talk to the state's attorney, and she was just wonderful to me. It was a very competitive atmosphere. She was always honest with me. She was always warm as could be, and we just hit it off right away.
It sounds like she gave you a little head start on some of the other reporters.
No, I was so much better than the other reporters. No, she was nice to everyone.
Lieutenant Eli, now with the Morgan State Police, was a patrolman for the Baltimore City Police when Jean first helped him.
She used to be in the victim witness room, I think. That's where she worked out of. But yeah, very nice lady. And like I said, whenever I watch For Justice and For All, she's in there. She does the cameo in there.
Did you have
You're
any
supposed
personal...
to stand for something. You're supposed to protect people. You killed McCullough. You killed him. Hold it. Hold it. I just completed my opening statement.
Even the film's villain, Jonathan Forsythe, found Jean's knowledge of the courthouse and the criminal justice system invaluable. She was one of the few people that Columbia Pictures security allowed close to any of the stars. Despite all her hours at work and all her other responsibilities at home, Jean still made time for her children. Of course, she loved taking pictures of the children as they grew. Summertime, wintertime, it didn't matter. She loved taking those pictures. But she also would expose them to historically significant events. Like here in 1954, when the Baltimore Orioles first came to town. And yes, we love that parade, especially when they gave out those white styrofoam baseballs. But Jean took us to an even more historical parade. This one was in Washington, D.C. in a cold January 1961. It was the inauguration of President John Fitzgerald Kennedy. And to this day, I remember how freezing cold it was. But we got to see JFK in person thanks to Jean Anderson. Now, of course, she found affordable things to do, like visiting the Loch Raven Reservoir with a loaf of bread to feed the fish, or frequent trips to the Maryland beach at Fort Smallwood, visiting the children's grandparents in Atlantic City, New Jersey, or even flying off to Chicago to see old friends.
Back to that same old place, sweet home, Chicago. Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Howdy, hey, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that same old place, a sweet home, Chicago.
And of course, Jean loved her job at the office of the Baltimore City State's Attorney, and for years her life was finally carefree and fun. The job was good, and she had several grandchildren. But then disaster struck, and Jean would face the toughest challenge of her life. Due to heart disease and diabetes, she had lost adequate blood circulation to her legs, and they would have to be amputated. After that operation, you'd think she'd be depressed or despondent. No, not Jean. She was a fighter. She might not be able to walk around, but she decided she was going to get around. And the next thing she tried to do was find some place to get her body, the rest of her body, into shape.
The Montebello Rehabilitation Center. It was a 300-bed rehabilitation center for patients with head and spinal cord injuries, diabetic limb amputations, and hip and back replacements.
And it was the place where Jean Anderson would spend the next 18 months rehabilitating. When finished, she brought a conversion van like this one with hand controls. Baltimore City made the space in front of her house reserved so that she could have a place to park it. And prominent attorney Roland Walker wrote her a $3,000 check for a highly personalized motorized wheelchair. And Jean was off and running. Well, I should say off and rolling.
My Mama Jean. What can be said about the woman who took no prisoners? You know what I'm saying? The woman who just showed us how to stand up and go for yours. I just think about her as someone who could have let life beat her down, but she refused because she just wasn't that. And it was such a example. Like, I remember her having her nails done, having her hair done, having the cutest outfit, and had recently had her legs taken from her, but it didn't stop her because that's who she was. She was bringing the family together for every holiday, making her famous spaghetti with the vinegar in it that me and Lisa loved so much. She made the best spaghetti. And just being the type of grandmother who was there for everyone, wanted everybody to have a good time, and knew how to have a good time.
But of all her achievements, all the barriers that she's broken and obstacles overcome, she may be remembered most simply as Mama Jean, a caring, loving, and fantastic grandmother.
I wasn't too old at the time, but I do have some very cherished memories of us riding around in her van. I think she would often get us McNuggets, and we would share McNuggets. She would also, I remember riding around in her wheelchair. She would be driving, and I was just having a good time with her there, hanging out at her house. It's hard to remember, but I do have these few memories of us, you know, having a good time together.
Rose just pulled in.
And I love this.
To Mama Jean.
And I love this. Where's he going with my keys?
Yeah, keep shooting, Amber. It's nice and steady. Amber's doing a great job. She's keeping it very, very steady.
Hi, Rose.
Rose is obviously French.
And I am not going to open my can
Right. This is
in front
probably.
of you.
Okay, let's go.
I would say, so first of all of my memories are clearly after she had her surgery and, you know, she didn't have her legs, but it was the fierce, like, determination, just, you know, even getting into the van, into the car, you know, the rant, the whole process of getting the wheelchair in and getting herself up front and seeing her pop over from one chair to the other, the fact that she even had this van with the controls. right there in the front. You know, she had to have everything up top. All of that to me just kind of let me know that no matter what she wanted to do, whatever she planned to do, she was going to do it. She wasn't going to let something, you know, like the disability define her at all. And I can only hope that, you know, she passed that on to me. What's up, buddy? And I can pass some of that down to him and the girls. And so, yeah, much love.
So I loved how sharp she was. I loved how on top of things she was for the family, for the grandchildren, the nieces, nephews. She was always on it. Like if we needed something for school, she needed, for me, sometimes tuition paid. Like she was just on things, and she just made sure the grandchildren of her children were set, at least mentally, spiritually, and all of that. She made sure we were good. I would be that kid that was riding on the back of the wheelchair in the giant food and all the places she would frequent where she knows basically everyone. So I would be the guy that's just like, wee, you know, a little Eric riding on the back of the wheelchair.
Together now.
I miss her spirit. She was so strong. I don't think I ever saw her cry. She wasn't weak. She always spoke up for herself. She always knew what she wanted. And I miss her comedy, her laughter.
Oh, she had a sense of humor that would, you know, make you fall out. She was so serious about things, but yet and still she had a sense of humor. And her love for people was amazing. She could make friends with anybody. It didn't matter if they were black, white. Oh, she used to tell these jokes that nobody else would tell me. Yes.
What kind of jokes?
I can't remember. I'm sorry, I can't remember. But I do know that my mom was relentless in her way of raising me as a young woman to be strong and never let anyone take advantage of me.
Hi, my name is Kevin. I am Gene Anderson's oldest grandson. I just want to share a little bit with you about my grandmother. She set the standard on what a independent, dominant, successful woman is supposed to be. Even after life's tragedies, she still looked the corners of Baltimore City in her Cadillac without effort. I remember giving me advice once, shortly after I had successfully made my way into the United States Army. And she said, Kevin, now that you're bringing in some bread, make sure you pay yourself first. I didn't fully understand what she meant, but I listened. She said, pay yourself first, 10 to 15% of every paycheck. Set it aside. And when the time comes, the money will be there for you. I followed that advice, and it was instrumental in me purchasing my first home in Florida. Mama Jean, wow, my girl. God bless you, Mama Jean. Love and miss you.
All right, so when I think about Mama Jean, I think the first thing that comes to mind is how she used to boss my father around. Yep, you, Dad. I had never seen anybody have authority over you, so it was, you know, pretty fun when I did go over there to see her tell you what to do, when to do it, all the above. We had a lot of fun though, because we did play cards together. She taught me how to play solitaire, which essentially taught me that, you know, you gotta learn how to entertain yourself. And, you know, of course, she had a lot of time alone. The biggest thing of it all was when I got my license, she figured, hey, you know what, might as well let him drive. So she let me drive. I drove her all around. And then I think even more fun than that was she let me drive her to school. And oh man, but I can remember like yesterday when I found out, the day I found out that she passed away. I went to school but I also broke down in school in my math class, and it was like trigonometry, and the teacher was really tough, and he was always like making kids get in trouble or whatever. And that day, when I broke down, I realized that he had a soft spot in his heart because he had been through similar situations, and me and him got very, very cool after that. So, Mama Jean, there's a few things. Miss you. Rest in peace.
Always just a big booster, and she raised me. She brought me up.
All right, very goodbye.
And here we are, about a month later, and Mama G now has her third look at little Bo Christian. What's that, Bo?
Third little Bo Christian. What do you mean? Has him for the third time? Is that what you mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you gonna smile for your daddy? Hmm? That's your daddy. That's your daddy. Talk to him. Smile. Oh, you gonna cry? You gonna cry? Oh, let's see that cry. Oh, Gracie. You've been doing so much.
But of course, any grandmother knows what to do when a child cries.
He's not even hungry. Eric has to get in on this too, you know.